Alright, welcome back to another video. Pretty much, I'm just going to be going over a tournament that I recently played.
Is here.
Alright, chat, so hopping into the first game. This is the second round of the tournament, so it's best of one, which means if we lost this set, we'd be out. But pretty much we went first pick Poco, just because we had a lot of the anti-tanks banned, and that was sort of our plan going into it, that we were going to first pick Poco. And because Jets is really comfortable on Poco, and we have a lot of practice with this comp and everything, and just comps with Poco. And so, you know, we like run it down stuff, and we just thought Poco was the right pick here. Ollie was still open, but if we went Ollie, they would have just countered us with Poco. And then they 2-3 picked Ollie and Meeple. Meeple is a pretty good anti-tank, especially with the like knockback, like stun gadget, but this Meeple decided to go with the box gadget, which is like okay, it doesn't really matter that much. And I guess they just go Ollie so that we can't, which is like fine, but to be honest, they need like a more, you know, like more DPS tank to, or just more DPS brawler to be able to get all of our health down, because Ollie just doesn't do enough damage, especially with his super, because it just takes away his ammo and stuff. And you know, we just have a really good matchup in Ollie and everything. But the thing is, we gotta try to end the game off like super early, because you know, the longer the match goes, the higher the chance that Mortis gets hypercharged and that he gets a team kill and everything like that. So yeah, we just wanted to end it quickly. And you know, it's tied 1-1 right now. Mortis got a pretty nice goal. We had like a bit of miscommunication there. And you know, I'm not playing too aggro this game, but I get a nice pull and hypercharge on the Ollie, which allows us to move up. And Mortis goes off for a bit there, but just not enough damage. And Mortis gets a really nice pass up to me. I'm at max does, and yeah, we score with 20 HP. We did the same thing in the second game, so I'm just gonna skip over the second game, and we'll move on to the third round. Okay, so in the third round here, we are playing another Brawl Ball set on Triple Dribble, and the same thing goes. We're gonna try to first pick Poco and see sort of how they respond to that. And for some reason they leave open Poco, and so we go Poco again, and then they 2-3 pick Stu and Juju. And I was deciding on what tank to go, what aggro to go, because I was scared that if we went like a Buster, Ollie was banned, and I was scared that if like we went a Buster, we wouldn't have enough like mobility versus Juju. I thought Ash would work really well here because his pets are like really good versus Stu and stuff, because he doesn't pierce and everything. And then we take Barley just because I was still a bit scared of the Juju, and Barley is just really good on the map and everything, and his heals would just provide more support for the Ash. And they last picked Nita. At first I didn't really like it because we had like a Barley and everything, but it turned out to work a bit in their favor. As you can see, they were like spawn trapping us early on, but they don't really have like a person that can just score goals on us, so we were sort of able to just keep them back and do our own thing. And it was honestly, we knew it was like a matter of time. This Nita gets her really like sneaky goal on us. It's kind of just like went right in between us, and that was probably my bad. I wasn't really. I had no. I didn't. I wasn't thinking that Nita was gonna score there, so I was kind of mad at myself there. But I knew like we all have like hypers. Well, me and Jets do, and so it was definitely looking way better for us here. I'm probably like with Ash, his hypercharge. It's kind of OP. You can just run in, place your hypercharge, and it's almost a free goal every time. So that's what we kind of do here. We just get the Nita down, we get the Juju down, and Jets puts it in the net, and we just score really quickly. And so now it's about who can get the next goal. And I have my super. Nita has her hyper, and same with Stu. But they just don't have enough DPS to take us down. And I get a nice kill on the Nita, and I also get a kill on the Juju and the Stu. So I'm just team wiping here. And I know Nita can't kill me, so I just walk the ball in the net. And yeah, pretty much that's gonna be the end of like the Brawl Ball set of round 3. It's like the same thing as the second round. We sort of just like the same thing happened, and we ended up cornering the ball in the second. We ended up cornering the ball in the second game, and we just took the first set. And since it's round 3, it's best of 3. So now we have to win in bounty, and if we win in bounty, we move on. So we get the map Shooting Star. We first pick Jean. We're super, actually, yeah, we first pick Jean. We're super comfortable with Jean and everything, and the counters were banned. We banned Angelo just because none of us play Claw. And then we also banned Belle and Mr. P just because they're good into Jean. And so we get a nice Jean first pick. And then they ban Nani, so Piper makes sense. They go B, which honestly I'm not really sure about. But anyway, they kind of have the same function, but we thought like a thrower would be really good into this, so we go Sprout, and we also go RT, which I thought was pretty good just because RT is good into Piper, and with just Sprout and Jean, we just don't deal enough DPS, so I was scared they were gonna last pick like some sort of run it down brawler. But however, maybe like now that I'm looking back on it, maybe there's a better option than Sprout. Like Grom was open, Juju was open, and same with Tick. Tick is definitely the best here, but Tick is the best here because of his range and everything. But I didn't want to go Juju because I was scared they were gonna last pick Brock and just break open the bushes, and then I'd be useless, and I'm just more comfortable in Sprout. So we went Sprout here, and then they last picked Juju, which honestly isn't the worst pick because I sort of get outranged by the Juju, and Jean and RT don't really have the mobility to push into a Juju. So yeah, we're just gonna see how this one plays out, and I'm showing you the last round just because the first round we just played like absolute garbage. It wasn't like that. There's nothing more than that. We just played really terrible, and then these games are all really slow, which usually happens on bounty. Usually, a team gets the blue star, and then they sort of just like play passively and have the other team push into them. Just sort of like what we were doing. We just weren't trying to make any mistakes, as we didn't want to go into another set. We just wanted to finish them off here, and now we're moving on to the 4th round. Okay, so hopping into the 4th round here, we're playing on Super Beach, which is sort of like, it's an interesting map for sure. Honestly, Poco isn't really as good here as he is in the other maps. It's because you're sort of separated from your lanes. Poco was banned, and we end up going first pick Max, because Max is also has good synergy with aggro, which we all pretty much like. And so we just go Max first pick, because Lou's out of the way, and there's not really a better mid that we could have gone, in my opinion. Max just seemed like the best option. And they end up taking Meeple Ollie, which Meeple is obviously really good into aggros and stuff like that. Just really broken in general. I don't know why Meeple is an actual brawler in the game. Just completely broken, guys. And then they also go Ollie, which I didn't even, like, at the time, I just completely forgot Ollie was still open. If I went back to draft, I definitely would have picked Ollie. But, you know, that's something I just missed during the draft, and we had to work around that. So we end up going Buzz. And now here's where I think I definitely made a misplay. Going Buzz into Meeple just is not the play, because Meeple has her stun to cancel out the Buzz super. So definitely, if I had gone like a, Ash again, I could have also gone like a Buster. All of those would have worked, but I wanted to go Buzz for the Ollie. But, if I had gone Ash, it would have just been completely better. We would have avoided all the stress that we had. But then we followed the Buzz pick up with a Surge just for more DPS versus the Ollie. And then they last picked Barley. And, Barley can be an issue, but with the Buzz, I felt like we were good into the Barley. And I could easily, use my grapple. I could just use my grapple to get onto the Barley, and then we'd be chilling. And, Surge wouldn't be great, but Surge went the second gadget where he gets a stage up increase. And so we thought that the speed would make him not struggle into Barley as much. And guys, going into this set, I made a crucial mistake. I chose the wrong star power on Buzz. I decided to do the one with the longer stun instead of the longer range with the supercharge. And this was just a terrible mistake. I did the longer stun just to handle the Ollie, but it turns out if I had gone the longer radius for my supercharge, then I would have been able to cycle supers so much quicker. Because as you see, I just struggled to get super, and when I did get super, the Meeple would just gadget to cancel it out. But if I got more supers with the bigger radius, then the Meeple would just not have enough time to keep cycling her gadgets, and I'd eventually be able to get a kill. And so definitely these little things can cost you a lot. And so yeah, this first set we just sort of played awfully, guys, and they took it away 2-0. And then going into the second round, they get an early goal off of us. And we're scared because we're already down a game, and they have a goal on us in the second game. And so we need to pull the ultimate comeback and get 3 goals before they can get 1. And so we get a really nice goal. And they're putting the pressure onto us. And then somehow Maestro gets the goal there. Really nicely played by him. I had a really nice gadget, and I had a really nice grapple onto all 3 of them, which allowed me to just kill them all. And so yeah, we take the second round, and going into the third round, definitely looking scary. I'm just gonna skip this final round again. We end up winning it somehow, but yeah, I just don't want this video to get too long. But yeah, we end up winning that one, and so again, we only need to win one more set, and then we move on to the 5th round, which is farther than we've ever made in any single tournament. And so right now we are 1 set away, and we end up going into bounty on hideout. And guys, I don't know, I just got outdrafted so hard, and we just played so terrible. I just felt there was really no need to show the game. To be honest, it would have just taken up time and just been boring. And we just played so bad. I just got outdrafted so hard. Okay, hopping into the final set, we have Gem Grab. Our opponents end up first picking Poco. We honestly didn't see that coming, and so we decided to go B just because she's a really strong mid, and she also will have the DPS to take down like a Poco and whatever. And then to complement the B, we go with Ollie. And Ollie, is really bad in a Poco, but we didn't want to give them Ollie. And I thought I would just be able to play Ollie like good and I could avoid the Poco. So we end up taking Ollie here and seeing what they go. And then they go a Melody Ash, which I think is really good. But, it's honestly pretty easy into Mortis. Like, Mortis can easily charge off the Ash. And so we end up going a Mortis game simply so we can have the DPS to deal with them all. And Maestro was confident on his Mortis. He asked me if he could go Mortis, and I said yes because I didn't want to be blamed for the loss, and he was confident. And so once again, I'm just going to show you guys the final game. We end up winning comfortably 2 rounds to nothing. But yeah, you guys can see how this one plays out. Morris, he just ends up like picking off the Poco, and we end up winning the set pretty comfortably. And that's the end of that round. So now we're moving on to the 5th round, which I will be showing in a future video, probably like a day or two after this video comes out. And so I'll be showing the 5th round, and I'll just be showing the rounds after that. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that, and thank you guys for watching the vid. A like and sub would obviously be really appreciated. But yeah, guys, see you guys next time. Peace.
For pain and for glory.